Pearl Jam and perspective have to do with each other? Stay tuned and find out. We talk about our weekend together seeing Pearl Jam play in Hollywood, Florida, and how it was the most fucking amazing experience of my life. Stay tuned.
We're shedding our masks and breaking down walls. Hell, we may even drop our drawers. That's right. We're going commando with Angela and Dana. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is Angela DeMarco, and we are Going Commando. Going Commando is a little show that we put together because we understand the importance of authenticity. We understand the importance of being who you are, stepping into that, embracing it, overcoming the obstacles, becoming the bigger, better, stronger version of yourself, and then bringing that to the world. And we do that, and we hope by doing so, we give you permission to do the same. So good morning. Good morning, Miss Angela.
Good.
My machine's doing weird things. Sorry. Morning.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Technical difficulties. Yeah. We'll give you permission. We're giving you permission to do the same.
Yeah. Right.
It's true though, because you know, like whenever you're like, see someone like, let's say you're all standing in line to do something, right? And everyone's like, what's going on? What's going on? No one's sure. And then one person's like, I'm going to go find out. And then all of a sudden someone else is like, I'm going to go with them. You know what I mean? Like, and like you feel like it's just like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, right? It's like kind of like we're just showing you like the way that we do things. I'm sorry, my kitty's over here playing with stuff, so it's noisy. But like we show like how we get through all of these like random things and what we learn from it, and then hopefully it gives you a new perspective on your own stuff. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing. Like whether we realize it or not, that's what we are all doing. We are just acting as mirrors for each other, for what we like and what we don't like. You know, oh, I would never do that. Oh, it's a mirror into myself, into my soul, things that, you know, a way that I do not want to live. And the fact that, you know, we're doing this publicly is we're just, too kidding. We're just, like I said, we're just trying to, you know, encourage others. So should we talk about today or should we talk about our weekend?
Well, one rolls into the other. So why don't you introduce what we're talking about and then we'll talk about our weekend.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So today, we're going to talk about perspective. And there's a chapter in The Woo Is You called You Don't Know What You Don't Know Until You know? And it's really this idea that we all think that we know. I laugh at myself every day. I think I'm so smart. And then I look, and then like tomorrow happens and I'm like, oh my God, I was so dumb. And, you know, and we do that. I could look back when I was 35 and laugh at all my missteps and mishaps. 25, 20. Oh my God. And every single time, yesterday, right? And every single time I thought I knew, and I did based on my lens of perspective. So when we understand that by doing the work of self-discovery, by broadening our awareness, and developing ourselves really essentially, that awareness broadens and then we see the world differently. It doesn't make us wrong before, and it doesn't make others wrong for not seeing it the way we see it. It just makes our level of awareness broaden. And oh my God.
Okay. Sorry guys. Dana's I don't know if you watched last week, but Dana's fostering 5 baby kittens. They're wreaking havoc all over the place. I've got 2 older kittens that are just like, we're just cat ladies now.
Yes.
So
crazy cat ladies. But we just built a new fortress because every day is a new level of development, and with new level of development are new escape routes. And so I just came in here to record Commando, and the 2 bigger ones have found their escape route. So I'm letting them run around because what the fuck am I going to do? You know, but I'm letting them run around because, you know, like I'm the alpha, right? You know, and yeah, so it's mayhem. So anywho, perspective.
Yeah. And you also said like, it doesn't make you wrong. This is not like about judging yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. Right.
It's
like,
almost comical.
Like parenting, like even parenting, like I didn't know how to do certain things. So I can't go back and be like, well, I had no frame of reference. So I did the best I could, but now I could do better now that I know what I know, what I didn't know, you know?
Yeah. But I got to tell you, Angela, just to your point, you know, you made such a good point. You know, we're all.
I love when you say that.
To your point, you made a good point. Oh, you're so smart. You're so pretty.
She thinks
you're so
smart.
Awesome. But we're all, even those that we're judging for sucking, right? Because you know you're doing it, you know,
Right.
But we're all doing the best with what we've got. because if we knew better, we would do better. And that really truly is a fact. Even people who you think, oh, but they know better. They may know on an intellectual level because people know that they're doing things that aren't maybe in their best and highest good. But when their energy belies the blah, blah, right? But when there's something within them that lacks worthiness or needs to feel safe or any of those things that are keeping them stuck in that place, it's going to dictate their behavior, regardless of what they say they know.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know until you know, and you only know when seriously, when you're willing to take the look. This is all gibberish at this point. We are 5 minutes in, but really, like Angela said, don't beat yourself up because we're all doing the best we can with what we've got, raising our kids, right? Oh, I look back at some of the things and I'm like, ooh, and I'll continue to do that as I expand and do
Yes,
That's really the end game,
relationships, friends, lovers, whatever it might be.
Lovers.
Okay. Speaking of lovers, I gotta talk about Pearl Jam now. Okay. And what does Pearl Jam have to do with perspective? Let's find out. Okay. Okay. So for those who know me, know that I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan, have been since like 92. I am a major dork, I've been to shows since 94, which I thought it was 93, but my friend corroborated it was 94. And the reason why I love the music so much is because Pearl Jam, like back in the 90s, and late 90s for some of you newer ones, I didn't have like a supportive parents community where I could talk about my problems, talk about my feelings. So I'm a true Gen Xer where you stuff it all down and you pretend everything's fine and
you eat, you drink.
Yeah, you just fucking handle your shit and you move forward and you try to process it and hear it without discussing it with anybody. And the first like major traumatic thing that happened was I was 18 years old. My uncle died out of nowhere. It's the first time a loved one, a very important loved one for me, died. And I didn't know what to do. And I remember going into this dive bar in Long Beach because we could drink there. They didn't card. Thanks, guys. And leaning on the jukebox and playing Pearl Jam's Black and Alive over and over, just loud, leaning against it. And it spoke to something in me. It was like a conversation inside me that I was no longer having by myself. I didn't feel crazy. Now here is someone expressing through words, through the vibration of the music, through everything. And from there, that their music has been like a soundtrack to my life. And so going to shows is a religious experience because everybody there has the same experience that I have. If you're a true Pearl Jam fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll hear so many people say they're the soundtrack of my life because it's just the way the music connects with our soul. So it feels like we can have these conversations and work through our stuff. We're pretty much like what you and I do on the regular, Yeah. So when I go to these shows, it's always a religious experience, always for me. It's just amazing. No matter where I'm sitting, where I'm at, what songs they play, it doesn't really matter. It's that I'm there and I have a time and I remember it. I could go back to that time, who I was at that time. Anyway, so Dana and I just went to see Pearl Jam play in Hollywood, Florida. I was like California, Hollywood, Florida at the Seminole Hard Rock. And we went for night 2, which was on Saturday. So it was April 26th, 2025, just in case this is evergreen. And it was Dana's first show. And when I got the tickets,
I'm sorry,
That's okay. Do your check-in. No, I'm talking to the people anyway.
I'm listening, but like I'm also my fucking assholes.
I know they're assholes.
Okay,
all right, focus. Okay. So I decided to take Dana. So I have been to shows with back in like the early 2000s, like late 90s, I was going with my brothers and like my close friends. Then I got a husband and he was like, well, I'm going. And I'm like, you don't even like them, but he went and it was like a whole different vibe, because he was there. And then it was like whatever boyfriend I was with. So the brothers got kind of shoved to the side, unfortunately, because I would do like 4 or 5 shows, take all of my people because I had great seats always because I'm a fucking dork. Anyway.
I can attest to that, by the way. I was there.
Yeah. So all of my shows as of late have been with like somebody who's not a huge Pearl Jam fan. They're going because they feel like they earned it by being my partner, or whatever. And
really?
What? I mean, like, it's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm married to her. I get to go to Pearl Jam with her.
Oh, there's the way you said it, because
No, but like
I earned it.
They feel like it's like a thing, like it just comes with the territory. And I was like, okay, I guess so. Instead of being like, I'd rather go with like my brother, who is much more fun, you know?
Gotcha.
And because of the people I was with, I didn't really talk to the people I would go with. So I'm not going, like my ex-husband was not sleeping in a GA line overnight so that he could be against the rail and pushed against people. Like, so I never made friends. So for all of my Pearl Jam shows, it was an individual experience, true to how the music started for me.
Yeah.
Whoever I was with, hoping that they enjoyed themselves, and then just, hey, smiles, and then leave. But earlier this year, early in the show, I went to a show with Chris Malazewski. We've had him on Commando before. He's a good friend of ours. And he's also as crazy as I am. And for the first time, I was with somebody who is as crazy as I am. And we had the best time. He hooked us up. We had like stage side. It was fucking awesome. It was awesome. So that became my number one show because I had so much fun with the person I was with. Then I went with a boyfriend, and I was more concerned about his first experience, at the show. And I was watching it because we're in like the middle, like the stadium's here. We're a front row in the middle, so I could see the whole stage. I could see the whole stadium, and it was awesome because you watch everybody singing and doing all the things, and yeah, fuck you, and all the shit that we do, like all the stuff, and it was awesome. But it was still, again, a continuation of the same kind of experience I've always had. Right? So me and the band, me and my experience, whomever I'm with, hoping they're having a good time. So I go to the show with you. My best friend, the girl who knows me more than I know myself. And I'm like, okay, so this is for the Pearl Jam nerds out there. I'm like, so if everybody knows Dana now, you know that Dana cries like with anything that moves her slightly, like her heart hole's like, so I was like, they have to open. I know, baby. And it's so cute. It's so cute. So I was like, I need to make her heart hole open. What would do it? Release would, if we had a release opener, I know it. It'll just set the tone for her to have an awesome show.
And I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, I know that I remember Pearl Jam, like was big in the 90s, and I would hear their songs and I would recognize them. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I can sing a couple words. I don't really have much of an opinion either way. Like, I was psyched to go.
Yeah, and you knew since like the 90s, right, that I was Pearl Jam. Like,
you're out of your fucking tits. You are out of your tits. And I knew you were out of your tits. That's my memory of you being out of your tits. I was bartending in this sports bar, this college bar, called Montana by USF. And I remember I was a couple years older than Angela. So I was like a hotshot senior, and she was this fucking idiot freshman. That's how I remember you. And nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. Listen, I know you want to tell your story, but I have to tell this one part because it fucking killed me. Okay. We walk in, we get our seats. Seats are awesome. We get our seats, and the first thing Angela does is she's like, turns around to the crowd, to the section that we're in. And she's like, all right, everybody, just know I'm apologizing now because I'm going to be yelling. I'm going to be dancing. I'm going to be bumping into you. Hey, what's your name? Hey, yeah, fucking throwing the chest bumps and the whole thing. And I'm all like, like I'm in a parade. Hi. Hey, okay. And then the lights went down, and she did not disappoint. The constellation of bruises on my rib cage will attest to that. Well, yeah, I got the Pleiades over here. All right, continue with your story.
Oh my God. But I have to tell you, okay, so there are a couple factors besides just being at the show with you. That would have been like a continuation more of the same kind of experiences I've had. Awesome time with you would have been as great as being with Malazewski. But there's a reason why this particular show was the number one reason. This is my number one show of all time ever. And it wasn't because of the set list. It was like the set list was like a greatest hits. So for all like the long timers are like, oh, even flow black life, but I'm like happy because they're songs that you recognize, like Jeremy, like those are my pee break songs. And I didn't even go pee. I usually pee at least once. I didn't pee at all. Anyway. So leading up to the show, I made a new friend, Stan. What up, buddy? And it was really fun because he's a Pearl Jam nerd. He was like, you got to meet up with my other friends, Evan and Hillary. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Cutest couple ever.
Oh, so cute.
Oh my God, so cute. So we meet them before the show, and I'm like, they're just like chatting. And all of a sudden, there's like this Pearl Jam community that I've never had. As small as 3 different people, 3 new people that just changed the course of everything, right? Because I don't sleep out in lines. I don't go on the merch lines. Those are not things that I do. Like, I'm like, I want to pay for my ticket. I want to show up and I want to get out of the show. Like, I'm like, I'm the person that loves movie theater with recliner seats now because I don't have to worry about it. Like, I've got my seat. Yeah. It's all set. So anyway, so just having those new people and this new expanded kind of vibe of me being a part of something that I was never a part of before is fucking awesome. Then we ran into my old college friends, like the guys that I went to, Steve Duchin, Nina. Oh my God, it was so cool to see you guys. John, what's up? And I went to my first shows with them. Like we would be in Steve's dorm room at Fontana Hall, spinning Verses and 10 on vinyl, black lights, bong hits, the whole 9. Like that. We were like, oh my God, did you hear McCready do that note? Like that we were so fun. It was so fun. All we do is watch bootlegs and shit. So it was so fun to see them. And then we're there. So I am now with Dana, who knows me better than anybody in the whole world. And I can't not be anything but entirely myself. I'm not worried about her. Like I honestly was, I didn't even know I hit you in the elevator.
No, I'm totally
Rich.
busting stones.
I was like bunking my new friend Rich, who was next to
us.
I'm
totally busting stones. What I said to you was, I'm so glad that I see why. And I'm so glad you gave everybody the warning, because if I was a stranger, I would have been like, what the fuck? Because you would have been but because it was you, the constellation, I wear it with pride. It goes up my boobie. No, it was not for me. It was not, please do not misunderstand. It was not a problem at all. But it was one of those things I was like, oh, now like in the movie, why did they show that scene? And then like 3 scenes later, you're like, oh, like, why is she warning them? Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. But when released, tell about.
So I'm putting the picture up. I don't know what it's going to be. It's good right here. Okay. This is Dana's face.
Oh no.
I turn around and I look at her and I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
7.
The whole crowd, and then they put the lights on the people so you can really see what's like. They really do such a good job of I could see why the fan base is so loyal. 34 years, why they're so loyal and why it's so strong, because Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder, I mean, he's leading the charge here, makes such a point to make the people be a part of what's happening. Yes. And it's palpable. So when that first song, I'm all chills, when that first song opened up and everybody just was like, oh, I mean, I can't hear the words. You're always like, this one means this, and this, all I hear is, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. So you're telling me, oh yeah, and this one, that's why it's so powerful. I feel the music, I feel it. So I felt the people, I felt the music, I felt them, I felt all of it. And my heart hold was like,
It was so beautiful. Awesome. So for the fans, it was release of The Girl, which I haven't heard live before in all of my shows, and then into Given to Fly. Which is
Given to Fly! You were like,
I was like, I know.
Like you were like, oh, seriously, it was fucking Splash Zone. And the cool thing is I knew because we had talked about it, so I understood your excitement. Again, another planet or another star in my constellation.
Well, it's because I don't know why that song just represents like who I have become so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting a tattoo, so I need a tattoo artist to help me design a Given to Fly / celestial thing to kind of go here. So that's the next thing.
Because one line in the song that goes that one, yeah. It was touching. Go on.
So Rich was next to me, and he's like my new best bud. He's even deeper fan club number than I am.
Yeah,
and
Rich is cool.
He was so cool, and it was awesome because like being there with Dana, I know you appreciated like what was happening, but you didn't appreciate some of the subtleties. When we'd look at each other,
100%.
He was like, "Wow, Stone's in the mood tonight." Like he was like, "Oh yeah, he's getting a lot of airtime." Like all little things, we would look at each other and just know, like, "Wow, that was awesome!" Like just awesome things, and at one point I was like, okay, they started playing, they got into the Dark Matter songs, the newer ones. And then I went like this with my hands, and the girls in front of us sat down, and like people sat down, and I was like, oh, he goes, you're powerful. I'm like, yes. So I had a clear view of the stage
the whole time,
view of the whole time.
Yeah. And Angela, I have to interject about this guy, Rich, because people just imagine this. Angela comes in. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be annoying. Just whatever. Sorry, not sorry, whatever. And she's cute. So he's all like, hey, and she's so by the second song, she is, I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. Listen up. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. She's like this with this guy. She's like shaking him and shit, fucking hitting him, and like every ounce of energy that, because she knows she whacks me, she's fucking done, right? So she's just like, so it'll be like the music will start, and she's just like, do you understand? And this guy was, and again, the cute factor was so like, good. Yeah, I know. And I was doing them, and I was just like, I was like, okay, yay. When do I get to sit again? Do I get to sit now? No, it's too soon. Okay.
He was the shit. He was the shit.
He was awesome.
We had so much fun.
Loving you. It was great. It was great.
Oh my God. We had so much fun. Oh, it was such a blast. And so, okay. The show was amazing. There's plenty of reviews out there. You can go see them, whatever. But what happened was, Dana and I, we hightailed it out of there, right? We weren't sticking around to gamble or whatever. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to get back to the beach and chill and, sit on our balcony and talk shit. But what I realized I didn't even realize that night, right? You and I stayed up. We talked to like probably 2 a.m. And then we got up early because we wanted to go for a walk. And I'm standing there while you're getting ready. I'm standing on our balcony. The sun is like glistening on the ocean. And I got this feeling that overcame me. And I was like, that was the first show of 40 plus shows that I've been to where I was 100% authentically myself.
Yeah.
Like the bar has been fucking raised now. Yeah. So whoever goes to a show with me from now on, like that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize because I always held back in certain ways for who I was with because I was worried about their experience. This time, once release started, I was like, I'm good. I like ignored you. Like,
Oh, totally. And I'm thrilled. I was thrilled. Every once in a while I got to the ribs to know that you were still there. But I was just thrilled because I was like, I wasn't as immersed as you were, but I was so taken. Remember, you even made fun of me when we were talking to people. You're like, you assess everything because I'm so astute at this point, like every nuance, every bit of energy. Like I'm like pretty aware of this shit, right? Yeah. So I'm watching the people, the relationships of the people in the crowd. There was this father and son. I was watching them and how they were bonding. I was watching Eddie Vedder's relationship with the people in the front. I was watching everything, the visuals in the back, when they brought the lights on, when people stood, when people sang. And so I was really immersed in all of it. These guys are pretty incredible. Now, would I call myself a Pearl Jam fan? No. Will I ever go to another concert? Likely not. But I could see the allure. I get it. I get what they're doing. It's fucking beautiful. And what I love about Eddie Vedder is he is a rock star. So there's an irreverence to him in just the way he is, which is attractive to me. Again, Dana Sardano from Jersey, right? There's an irreverence, but you can see immediately the depth behind that and the kindness and the warmth and the connectivity. Mm-hmm. And it really is captivating. All of them. Like I said, he's the front man, so I'll speak to him. But they're just great, and the Pearl Jam fans are loyal to the day they die, and there's something to that as well. It was just a beautiful experience, Angela. Thank you for including me in your fucking mania because it was something. And the whole weekend was great, from the time you got off the plane, snacky, to being on the beach, to the whole nine.
Oh, it was an awesome weekend. Yeah. It was awesome, and I'm so glad that I was with you. I'm so glad. Mm-hmm. And we forgot to give a shout out to entitled puke.
Oh my Jeff, if you're watching, oh my God, we met this guy. Oh my God, we met him the night before, and he comes up to us while we were waiting for the car for the valet to go over to the Hard Rock, and he senza fancy. Like a car. And he comes over because he sees we're in our Pearl Jam shirts, and he goes, hey, you guys going to the show? We're like, yeah. He's like, you got an extra ticket? We're like, no. He's like, oh, I went to see it last night or Thursday night. It was awesome, blah, blah. He's like, I'm going to try to get another ticket, and he's like from the Northeast. I'm an entitled puke, so this is, I
went to 6 shows already. Yeah. I'm an entitled puke though.
Yeah. And the way and the turn of phrase, I fell in love with him. I'm like, did this guy just call himself an entitled puke? So all night I'm like, I love entitled puke guy. So the next morning, because we're on the beach, we're in Hollywood, we have breakfast out at the beach and we look over, sitting at the bar, 8 a.m. There he is. I'm like, he was like, that's entitled puke guy.
He's like, I was hoping to run into you guys and then get into the show. So.
Yeah, so shout out to our new bestie, the entitled puke. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, okay, guys. Okay. So let me just wrap this up. What does Pearl Jam have to do with perspective? Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't know how much I held back for the sake of somebody else, for the sake of their feelings. Not that they asked me to. My thinking was, this is me doing the right thing, really putting myself second to someone else's experience. Yeah. When it truly, these have been my experiences. This is for me, right? I get these tickets for me. Whoever gets to come for the ride, but it's
not about them. Yeah.
It's not about them. And I had no idea that I did that. Even the healed version of me that was going to shows in September, I had no idea that I was still doing that.
Yeah. I have to, before we get to the nugs, I have to just paint the picture also, just a final picture of when you were on the balcony in the morning. Okay. So we get up early. I didn't sleep all night. Like I was like, the energy, because I don't get out much. So the collective energy, I didn't sleep all night. Woke up in the middle of the night with a cramp because, who would have thought to bring water with us? You know what I mean? So we're all dehydrated and shit. So we get up and I go in the bathroom. Angela goes out on the balcony. I go in the bathroom to clean myself up, but I take a quick shower, get stank off me, and I put on walking clothes. We're going to walk on the boardwalk, so black spandex, black tank top, you know what I mean? And put my hair in a ponytail, brush my teeth. So I like look clean or whatever. I got my sneaks and I come out and Angela comes off the balcony and she's got tears in her eyes. And she's like, oh, I had this realization. And then she's like, did you shower? And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. And immediately went into aerobics mode. I'm like, we're going to walk. We're going to do it. And I'm like, I teach aerobics. And I start fucking grapevining and doing that. And I'm like, oh yeah. And doing the around the world shit.
My tears go,
she was all like the raw. And I'm like, it's aerobics. And I was like, oh, did you have something you wanted to say?
I was like, never mind.
Yeah. We'll talk about it later. So yeah, sorry that I farted all over your epiphany, but it really was a beautiful one because you've been peeling back layers to that epiphany. You're like, oh, I'm going to do things for me. And I'm not going to get caught up in somebody else's orbit. And then you got to experience your most favorite thing in the world with that understanding to experience it. So you didn't know what you didn't know until now you know. And then you expand that awareness to bring it full circle for where we are when we started this conversation. And now you go into the world where you will apply that feeling of that understanding. Because it's one thing to know it here.
Yeah.
But to know it here is a completely different fucking story.
Yeah, because you don't know. It's hard to tap into something that you've never experienced.
Yes.
And so now, that's what I'm saying, the bar is raised. Like now, my expectation of the experience is on par with that, if not better. Yeah. Right? It will never go back the other way. Yeah. So whomever is going with me, like I said to Maddie this morning, I'm like, I want you to really think about this. Do you want to go to Nashville? Because if you don't want to go see the show, I get it. If you don't want to go see Pearl Jam, I'd rather go with somebody who is really into the show because it's that kind of experience.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I just want to go spend time with you. And I'm like, well, we'll find something else to do.
Go to the fucking park.
We'll find something else to do then because I don't now I'm that my expectation is I need to be with somebody who is as fucking crazy as I am.
Yeah.
Or knows me like you accept me for my craziness.
Totally. I was I wouldn't say a grounding force, but I think I kept you tethered a little bit because you made a good couple suggestions and you were like, hey, let's, and I'm like, yeah, and yeah.
Yeah. But that's what you do. That's how we roll. You're holding me down.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm like, I just let you go. And then I give you a little yen. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those dog leashes on the chain, right? Like that. I get as far, and then I'm like, okay.
Totally. All right, we are way deep into this thing. That's what she said. Should we
Oh
wrap it
yeah,
up?
sorry, everybody. Okay, so let me do a little preamble. Thank you for listening to the spiel. For
Yeah.
all the Pearl Jam fans out there, I see you. I get you. Get this boot because it was a great show,
Yeah.
great vibe,
Yeah.
small venue, awesome.
I get you too, by the way. Keep on.
So this season is the season 8, and we're talking about how the woo is you, and the woo is you is really what we just talked about. It's gaining these understandings about ourselves, why we tick, what we're doing. And when something doesn't feel right, or we're assessing over something that we've done and we don't want to do it that way anymore, or we want to handle things differently, you got to go inside. Meow. You got to go inside to deal with your stuff, right? So Dana's book, this season is based around Dana's book. You've cracked the code. The woo is you. And it is the 3rd book of the 10 Recs trilogy. To start this inner work, we always suggest go to the beginning, 10 Recommandments for Personal Empowerment. But if you go to phenom-publishing.com, you'll see all the books there. You'll read the write-ups. This stuff, when you do this work, from down to the root of the tutor, right? When you do this work, you get to have even better experiences that you could not even imagine possible. I could not imagine what it would have felt like at that show.
Yeah.
I couldn't have imagined that. Yeah. And now I'm like I'm in a new stratosphere with the whole freaking thing. I've been fan this band since 92, and now it's a whole new thing. What?
Yeah.
So just really go to phenom-publishing.com, join the Phenom Readers Club. We give away shit. We send you 2 emails a month. It's free. And we give stuff away. We give offers. Like we're making like discounts for you guys. But just like connect with us, join us, follow along, do this work, because when you thrive, everybody around you thrives.
100%.
All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to switch on over to Dana's Nug. So before we go there, I'll say my bye. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
So Dana's nugs. So I have to tell you, my nug, what I had in the back of my brain, is really a piggyback to what Angela was just saying. You know, we opened this show saying you don't know what you don't know until you know, and it's the idea that our perspective as it expands, our reality not only expands, but it becomes more fulfilling. But it's not, you cannot just say, I want to expand my perspective. It doesn't work that way. And I've spoken of this before, but I want to break it down. We are all just an amalgamation of aspects of self. And our aspects of self all have built on one another in development based on our personal development. Without getting to a whole tutorial, our sense of safety comes first. It goes into our sense of creativity, our sense of worthiness, our ability to love, our ability to speak our truth, our ability to be discerning, our ability to have connectivity to the outside world. And there's so many aspects that fall into these, I'll call them categories. Just focus on your aspects, because Angela didn't say, oh, I'm going to broaden my perspective. What she said is, I'm going to tend to my imbalances. And as something in my life pops up that doesn't serve me and doesn't feel good, I'm going to look at which aspect of self that aligns with that circumstance, with that manifestation of that imbalance. And I'm going to address that imbalance. And every time she did that and became more balanced and more centered, she had more fulfilling experiences. And she's been doing this hardcore. We're all doing it to some degree, but when we begin to have an awareness that we're doing it, and then we put it into high gear and we do it with more intention and attention, it speeds up. And I've watched Angela over the last 4 or 5 years kick it into high gear and expand, and an experience that she's had 40 plus times. And since her level of expansion kicked into high gear, we're talking between 5 and 10 times. Only this time did it click and did she really see it, because that aspect of worthiness, that aspect of authenticity, that aspect of respect for self was in line. And then her awareness opened. She didn't know before she knew. And she was able to experience something she experienced so many times before with true fulfillment. So what is my advice to you? Shit around you isn't looking good, isn't feeling good. Ask yourself, does that make me feel worthy? Does that make me feel safe? Am I being true to myself? Am I loving without condition? Any of those things, pick one And if it's out of balance, bring it back into balance, and you will watch your experience become as fulfilling as Angela's in this Pearl Jam experience. Maybe not as, but pretty darn close. So thank you for joining us. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Going Commando with Angela and Dana, brought to you by Phenom Publishing. Phenom Publishing is humanity's go-to resource for personal evolution. Go to phenom-publishing.com to view the works that we've discussed in these episodes and to join the Phenom Readers Club, where we have special and exclusive offers and deals just for our subscribers. It's free and it's fantastic. See you on the inside.